Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match reaction. Everton 0, Chelsea 0 at Goodison Park today. The Toffees, another decent result against Chelsea at Goodison. They seem to be a team who we do quite well against at Goodison Park. I think we'd won 5 out of the last 6 at Goodison before today. Obviously, that one means that it's another game unbeaten for Everton at Goodison Park. And another clean sheet added on to the 2 we had in the previous 2 games, of course, beating Wolves and drawing last week at Arsenal. This one, I think, was perfect for the manager. I think he's very, very good against these type of teams in terms of setting up. And I think Everton stuck to the task. I think you look at them, they'll be very disappointed. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be really disappointed tonight that they didn't grasp the opportunity to go top of the league, albeit for a very brief amount of time. Liverpool are winning at the time of me recording this, so they are quite comfortably clear at the top. But Chelsea had the opportunity to take the first place for a couple of hours and didn't really commit to it. Everton's side, pretty much as we thought. Dwight McNeil didn't make it. Obviously, it was the team last week that went to Arsenal and done all right. Jordan Pickford in goal, Ashley Young, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mykolenko, and then midfield Mangala, Edouard Gay, Decore, Illiman and Jai, Jack Harrison off on the right hand side, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin through the middle. And the game beforehand, going into the stadium, I was wondering if there'd be a real upturn in sort of atmosphere. I was wondering if there'd be if it'd be cranked up a little bit. Obviously, Everton taken over by the Freaking group earlier in the week, but that didn't really translate. It was quite flat today. It was a horrible day. Wind and rain, and it was free. That wind was freezing cold. Still freezing now, and I'm back home. But I think I expected a little bit more of an upturn in the atmosphere. I don't know why. I just thought people being a bit more relaxed now, knowing that our future's kind of sorted financially and everything else. But that didn't really convey. And then, of course, you're hoping on the pitch that the players perform well enough to kick that atmosphere up. It all was very flat, really. And again, like I say, it's a few days before Christmas. The weather was terrible. It was very cold. It was windy. And when there was the driving rain in the first half, I don't blame anyone for just sitting there quite quietly, waiting to be sort of entertained. Chelsea were the better side. I think that's fair to say. I mean, I think the stats tell you they were the better side, or 75% possession, and was it 12 shots to 5 or 13 shots to 5 in their favour. They were a better side, and we know that with the better team anyway, aren't they, quite clearly? And we knew we were going to have to dig in today, and that's what we did, and we ground out a result. I mean, in the first half, Cole Palmer, who I think is a fantastic footballer, just didn't really get into it. He had a couple of brief moments. In those brief moments, he showed what a real threat he is. One where he went on a run. If he'd reversed his pass, Pedro Neto was clean through, and he didn't. He took it himself and hit it wide of the target. But they did have a better break just before half-time, or near half-time, where he played a great ball across to Nicholas Jackson. He should have scored. Hit it straight at Jordan Pickford. It was a good save by Pickford, don't get me wrong, but he really should have scored. So it was the middle of the goal, and Jackson, decent finish, he'd have expected him to score there, and he didn't, and Pickford kept it out. From an Everton attacking perspective, it was sporadic that we had any sort of attacks. We had a free kick from Ashley Young, which was a comfortable save for Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. We just couldn't get... I mean, we were playing long balls in a swirl and wind, so that's never really going to work out well. And we couldn't get in behind them. The moments that we did put some decent stuff together, the final ball just simply wasn't there. I think in terms of a defensive performance, this kind of fits the manager and the coaching staff's style as a real defensive performance. I think it was very good. I think they were really well drilled. Chelsea have got lots of goals in them. I think they started the day they certainly started the weekend as the top scorers in the Premier League. And we've limited them, like I say, to very little. They did hit the post off a corner. I think it was a corner come to the back post. I think it was Nicholas Jackson headed it against the post, when he really should have scored. And then Jordan Pickford made a good save. I think it was Gusto running in it, and Pickford blocked it. And other than that, they didn't get themselves too many opportunities in and around our box. They were always closed down, or we got a body in the way of it and put them under pressure. And that in the second half, they had even less, really. There was an Enzo Fernandez shot, which was gathered by Jordan Pickford quite comfortably. They had moments where they threatened to get it, to get in behind us. And we defended it really well. And obviously, as the game goes on, the opportunities they've got to bring players on from the bench, there's so many options for them. But they didn't make any subs until it was like less than 20 minutes to go. I think Everton had done such a good job then. The manager was proactive with his subs today. Brought Beto on midway through the second half with... he also brought in Jesper Lindstrom, and he brought Seamus Coleman on because Ashley Young was on a booking, and Jadon Sancho had given him the run around a couple of times. And obviously Ashley Young, you've got to be careful you don't lash out. A couple of big games in the next sort of week as well. So the manager put Seamus on, which I think did pick the crowd up a little bit. Beto come on and really knocked their centre-backs about a bit, and it looked like he might be one who could be the difference. I thought he gave them a tougher time than what Dom had given them. I think Calvert-Lewin overall hold-up play was generally decent. He just doesn't look like he's going to score you a goal at the moment. He looks like, I think his confidence is low in and around the box. He's not in there, but he is isolated. I keep saying it. He is. The way we play doesn't lend itself to scoring goals. It's about keeping them out at the other end. Jordan Pickford's now got the most clean sheets in the Premier League after that today. So well done him, and well done the defence. It's never just obviously the goalkeeper, but fair play to him. But that's what we're built on. We're built on not conceding. We can look at that and criticise the rest of it. You can't win games unless you score goals and all that, to quote Michael Owen. But if you just take the game in isolation, which I'm trying to do today, it was a good, solid defensive performance. And everyone knew that. And then we nearly nicked it. We had a break. Mangala done really well. Garner Gay, lovely little bit of skill. Up to Beto, nice and strong. Laid it off. Mangala threw ball to Lindstrom. He rolled it across. Beto just couldn't get on the end of it, and it broke. The keeper got a hand before Beto could tap it in. It broke to Njai, and I haven't seen it back, but it didn't look like he fully committed to putting the ball in the net. And I'd have to see it again. I could be way wrong. Just live at the game, I thought he could have fully committed to it and knocked it over the line. It was just waiting to be smashed in, but it didn't happen. It was a good defensive clearance. And Chelsea, that was sort of the last real opportunity we had. They had moments where it looked like Madueke went on a run and he might produce something, but we got a foot in. Cole Palmer had tried to buy a penalty, went past a couple and went down. But other than that, Everton defended it very well. Like I say, if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'd have been wanting more from my team there. The opportunity to go top of the league, like I said before briefly, the opportunity to go and get 3 points seemed to be there. Everton obviously playing very deep and defensive, but they didn't. There was sort of no urgency, and I think from their perspective, that's what you'd be frustrated with. From our perspective, it worked perfectly for us, and we've ended up getting a decent point against, like I say, a team who's in the race for the Premier League title, albeit they're going to have to be better than they were today to overturn Liverpool, who look too strong for everybody right now. And yeah, we've ended up with a point. I'm sure the manager will be delighted with the clean sheet. It's an extra point on board. We're going to have to at some stage start winning games. We've won 3 and 16, but we've got an extra point, and it's key because obviously Wolves have gone to Leicester and won 3-0 under Vita Pereira today. And Southampton are gone anyway, but they've gone and ground themselves a decent point out there at Fulham as well. So it's important that we keep adding the points on. Yesterday we saw Arsenal beat Crystal Palace 5-1, which keeps them in with us as well. And Newcastle battered Ipswich 4-0. So keep adding it on. We've got another really tough game now at Manchester City on Boxing Day. On form, Everton are probably the slight favourites, which is mental, going to the Etihad saying that. But we know that won't mean anything. It'll be a really tough game, and they're a really good side, City, albeit they're all over the place at the minute. Can we? I think if we were a bit more adventurous, there might be something there for us. We'll have to wait and see. I think we'll probably get a similar performance at the last two, where we won't have the ball, we'll dig in and battle and scrap. And we'll see what that brings us. But today, we've got ourselves a hard, well-earned point, and we take it and we run with it. Man of the match is a tricky one. I mean, Jordan Pickford made a big save midway through the first half. But I actually think I'm going to give man of the match to Mykolenko. As he played better than he did today. Yeah, see, I think it was a toss-up for me, although Brantwaite had a good game as well, but it was a toss-up between the two fullbacks, even being perfectly honest today. I thought Ashley Young did really well against Sancho, but he didn't complete the 90. And Mykolenko had obviously Pedro Neto, and he had one moment where he actually, his indecision ended up getting Illiman and Jai booked. He should have dealt with it. But I think overall, he saw him off, and then Noni Madueke, who I think's really good as well. He had to deal with him, and he didn't really give him any change as well. So I'm going to give it to Mykolenko today. Other opinions are more than valid as well. That's just mine. Mykolenko, my man of the match. There you go. If you don't watch me 3 things, then have a great Christmas. Thank you very much for watching this. Like, subscribe, do all that. Enjoy Christmas. Take it easy. See you later.